just feel things again. I think, I don't know what type of minutes I'm going to get will look like, but just when I'm out there, like, compete, play hard. This is going to be a team that's going to be moving constantly, so just being aware and active, bring energy. I think that's obviously hard sitting out and watching for a few weeks, so I'm definitely excited to get back out there.
Caitlin Clark just got rocked again. For the 6th straight time, Kate Martin and the Las Vegas Valkyries handed the Indiana Fever another brutal loss, and WNBA fans are stunned. What was once a feel-good Iowa reunion has now turned into a full-blown rivalry, and so far, it's been completely one-sided. With this latest blowout, Kate Martin improves to a shocking 6-0 against Clark, raising serious questions about the Fever, Caitlin's development, and whether Martin has become her unexpected kryptonite. This isn't just a loss, it's a statement.
I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's going to come here and rule the world, like whatever. It's going to be, whatever. And there she did, came in right away and ruled the world. And I was like, all right, here we just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman to come in and have that kind of confidence, like, not everybody has that. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected.
Let's be clear. This is not just another loss. With the Las Vegas Valkyries' latest blowout win over the Indiana Fever, Kate Martin has now beaten Caitlin Clark 6 straight times, both in college and now in the pros. And fans are starting to take notice. Social media exploded after the final buzzer, with posts flooding in saying, "Kate Martin owns Caitlin Clark." And is Clark cursed against her old teammate? What started as a fun matchup between former Iowa teammates has now turned into one of the WNBA's most unexpected storylines, one that Caitlin just can't seem to shake.
When we're successful, it really starts on defense for us. I think when we're disruptive, when we're up in passing lanes, defending hard, active hands, things like that. I think that's what leads to us being really good offensively. I think that's what led to our 2 games where we beat the Lynx and beat the Aces. And I think we lacked in that area versus the Sparks. We kind of just let them do whatever they want to. I thought we were a step behind. So I think that has to be intentional for our group going forward, is like we have to be a step ahead of everything. And that just comes down to knowing personnel and knowing our scout and being very intentional in that. And I think that's kind of where the coaches have challenged us.
And fans are starting to notice, and they're not holding back. Kate Martin is Caitlin Clark's kryptonite. She's not just her friend, she's her boss on the court. Social media is buzzing with takes claiming Martin has completely flipped the script. But how did we get here? These two weren't just teammates at Iowa, they were inseparable. Martin was the steady captain, the hustler, the glue holding the team together, while Clark was the headline grabber and the superstar. For years, Martin played the background role, making sacrifices so Clark could shine. But now, under the bright lights of the WNBA, it's Martin who's stealing the spotlight, and Caitlin who's struggling to keep up. What started as a reunion has turned into a cold, one-sided rivalry, and it's starting to look like Kate Martin isn't just winning games, she's rewriting the narrative. While Caitlin Clark grabbed the headlines, the magazine covers, and million-dollar endorsements, it was Kate Martin doing the thankless work, diving for loose balls, setting hard screens, leading the locker room. She was the heart of Iowa, even if Clark was the face. So when the 20th pick in the draft, someone barely mentioned on draft night, started embarrassing the no. One pick on national TV and stacking up 6 straight wins, fans didn't just take notice, they lost their minds. This wasn't supposed to happen. Clark was billed as the next WNBA icon, and Martin? In their latest matchup, it wasn't even close, not by a mile. The Las Vegas Valkyries demolished the Indiana Fever, and once again, it was Kate Martin putting on a clinic. She was everywhere, drilling clutch threes, locking down on defense, diving for loose balls, and firing up the Vegas crowd like a veteran. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? She looked lost, No spacing, no support, no rhythm, just frustration. It was deja vu all over again. The same storyline, just a different night. One rookie looked like she belonged under the lights, and the other? Like she was still trying to find the switch. Martin was thriving, Clark was surviving, and WNBA fans could feel the gap growing wider with every possession. Look, let's talk psychology, because at this point, this rivalry is living rent-free in Caitlin Clark's head. You don't lose 6 straight to the same person. Not just any player, but someone who used to be your teammate, your friend, your co-captain, without it messing with your confidence. On paper, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA's future. The #1 pick, the $1 million deals, the media machine pushing her every move. But that spotlight, it comes with heat.
Real quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly.
Yeah.
And it was the way she approached everything too was it was with a sort of excellence. It wasn't oh, I'm just going to go through the motions and whatever. It was no, I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, and especially whenever our gray squad guys were playing against us, it was if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? And I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, next level mindset, and it really
Kind of like a favorite highlight, getting to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Is it beating South Carolina and breaking their streak? Is it, getting to the final game? What would have been the moment?
I would say beating South Carolina.
Yeah, no, fair.
Was
that was incredible.
That was the best moment ever, because we all believed that we could make it to a Final Four. And so we were just all right, we made it to a Final Four. Let's go. This is great. We didn't think we were going to really make it to the national championship. The undefeated South Carolina, they're Twin Towers down there, just a very long, athletic, good team. And so when we executed that game plan perfectly and beat them, that was probably that's still probably my career.
At some point, it stops being about the scoreboard and starts being about your identity, your reputation, and your pride. Caitlin Clark isn't just chasing a win anymore. She's trying to outrun a narrative that's closing in fast. A narrative where her own former teammate, someone drafted 19 spots lower, is outplaying her, outshining her, and now, outlasting her. And the fans? They're not just noticing, they're weaponizing it. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, all lit up with brutal takes. One viral comment read, "Kate Martin is living rent-free in Caitlin's head, and she's not paying rent anytime soon." Another posted a photo of Martin flexing mid-game with the caption, "Clark made her famous, but Martin's making her pay." Even more fans are saying, Kate didn't come to play in Clark's shadow. She came to eclipse it. What makes it sting even more is the emotional history. These two were more than teammates. They were friends, sisters, warriors who went to war together at Iowa. But now, every time they face off in the WNBA, it's not unity we see. It's dominance. From Martin, this is no longer a fun storyline or an early season fluke. This is 6 games, 6 wins, 6 statements. And fans aren't treating it like a rivalry. They're calling it a one-sided ownership. The question isn't, can Caitlin Clark turn it around anymore? It's how much longer can she take this?
Yeah, and so when I got told I was going to get picked up, I was just super excited for another opportunity. Some people don't get opportunities to go to a training camp or get the opportunity to make a team. And so the fact that I knew I was going to get another shot, I was excited and felt really grateful for it. So yeah, I was really.
The internet can be ruthless, but not everyone's turned their back on Caitlin Clark. In fact, plenty of fans are still riding with her, believing that once the Indiana Fever figure out their broken rotations, give her the spacing, the support, and the system she needs, she'll bounce back harder than ever. After all, we've seen what Clark can do when she's unleashed. The range, the vision, the fire. But right now, it's just not clicking. And while people argue, analyze, and meme the moment, Kate Martin is quietly sitting at 6-0. 6 straight wins, 6 loud statements, and in this rivalry, no matter the storylines or the spin, the scoreboard doesn't lie. So now, we ask the question every WNBA fan is thinking. What happens next? Does Caitlin Clark rise like the superstar she was destined to be? Or is Kate Martin writing a whole new chapter that no one saw coming? Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? They're down, no question. But they're not out. The season is still long, and if there's one thing we've learned about Caitlin Clark, it's that she doesn't stay down for long. She's been doubted before, criticized, counted out, and every single time she's responded with fire. The question is, how much longer until that fire ignites again? As for Kate Martin, she's no longer just Clark's old teammate. That label doesn't fit anymore. She's carved out her own spotlight and earned every second of it. In just a few short months, she's gone from role player to rising star, from overlooked to undeniable. The rivalry is real. The tension is building. And if this is just the beginning, then buckle up, because Chapter 7 is coming. If this is what we're getting in their rookie year, just imagine what's coming in year 2, year 3, and beyond. 2 former teammates, 1 unexpected rivalry, and a scoreboard that refuses to lie. But what do you think? Is this a legit rivalry in the making, or just a fluke of timing and circumstance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from the real fans. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, because this story, it's far from over. Kate Martin vs. Caitlin Clark, Chapter 7 is coming. And we'll be right here and covering every twist, every turn, and every shot that defines it.